Oh, I feel like I'm getting ready for an assembly.
Okay, it's starting, guys. Be quiet. Okay.
Good evening. As you all may or may not know, my name is Jessica Gonzalez, and today I had to develop a policy speech. Since the 1950s, about 8.3 billion tons of plastic has been produced worldwide, and only 9% of it has been recycled. According to an article in the Guardian Journal, if placed end to end, the amount of plastic water bottles that are discarded and not recycled globally would extend more than halfway to the sun. And although most plastic, soft drink and water bottles are made out of a very recyclable material called polyethylene terephthalate, aka PET, a majority of the efforts to keep up with its proper disposal are failing. About 480 billion plastic bottles were sold in 2016, and since then, only less than a quarter of them have been recollected and recycled. That means almost all of our plastic water bottle waste goes into either landfills or, sadly, our world's beautiful oceans. In fact, our world's oceans are so polluted with plastic waste, and I quote from an article also in The Guardian that scientists at Ghent University in Belgium recently calculated that people who ingest seafood ingest at least up to 11,000 pieces of tiny plastic per year. Pollution has gotten so bad that it's made its way back into our human food chain for human consumption. It's needless to say that the use of plastic products need to be dramatically reduced, if not eventually stopped completely. I believe that if most or all of our government-funded establishments, such as airports, hospitals, or especially schools, develop strict policies against plastic water bottle use, that we could ultimately start to change the future environmental and even health risks that our world will soon face if we continue to disregard this issue. I believe a policy like this would be successfully implemented in schools because if children, when and are taught or are forced to make this type of difference, they will carry on the trait for years to come versus trying to get millions of adults to change already formed or behaved habits or behavior, you know? There are about 57 million students that attended school in 2018 and about 4 million teachers for those students. That's about, well, that includes private schools, pre-K, public schools, etc. That's about 61 million people that could possibly contribute to the prevention of our plastic waste per year. In order to implement this, I believe schools could ban, if not, they could completely ban plastic water bottle use, and even bringing them onto campus. I believe this wouldn't completely solve the issue, but it would definitely start to dwindle the numbers. Euromonitor International's Global Packaging Trends reports that a predicted amount of 583.3 billion bottles will be purchased by 2021. If schools implemented a policy like this, we could dwindle those numbers by at least 22 billion per year. I derived my sources from all on the internet. I've derived my sources tonight completely from the internet. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you again for my next speech.
Awesome.